Dear students, previous classes we will discussed about the some characteristics in bryophytes, includes habitat and thallus organization or plant body structure. Now let us discuss about the another characteristics in bryophytes such as reproduction. What are the reproductive characteristic features in bryophytes? Now let us. So reproduction are of mainly three types. One is vegetative reproduction. Second one is sexual reproduction. Third one is asexual reproduction. Third one is asexual reproduction. In generally, most of the in higher plants, first takes place by vegetative reproduction, second takes place by asexual reproduction, third takes place by sexual reproduction. But here in lower plants, some of the bryophytes in first takes place by the vegetative reproduction, second takes place by the sexual reproduction, third takes place by the asexual reproduction. This is very important over here. And generally, in most of the higher plants, the reproduction in first takes place by vegetative reproduction, second takes place by asexual reproduction, third takes place by sexual reproduction. But here in lower plants, especially bryophytes, the first takes place by vegetative reproduction, the second takes place by sexual reproduction, and the third takes place by asexual reproduction. Okay now. So in this first reproduction, vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. In all bryophytes, the vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation. The fragmentation by means the plant body or thallus, which breaks up into small pieces or small fragments. Then after each fragment gives rise to or develop to new thallus or new plant body, that is named fragmentation. That is named fragmentation. Second one here, sexual reproduction. In all bryophytes, in their sexual reproduction to be appeared to sexual organs. So sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular, jacketed and stalked. So sex organs, male sex organ and female sex organ is always multicellular. This is one sex organ. For example, antheridium, male sex organ, that is antheridium. Antheridium is always dumbbell in shape. So, is covered by more than 2 cells, number of cells. That is multicellular. This is a multicellular. This is a multicellular. Okay now? Multicellular. And jacketed. This is a jacketed. And stalked, and also stalked. This is a stalked. So this is a male sex organ. This is a male sex organ, that is named antheridium. That is named antheridium. All are antherozoids. All are antherozoids. Okay now. Sexual reproduction. So in bryophytes, in their sexual reproduction to be produced sex organs. So in these sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular, more than 2 cells, jacketed. Sex organs are covered by one protective layer, that is jacketed and stalked, supported to be one stalk layer, supported to be stalk, one of the base part. Antheridium or archegonium is always supported by one of the base part, that is stalked. Okay now. So the male sex organ is called antheridium. This is a antheridium. So two sex organs are here. One is male sex organ, second one is female sex organ, especially shown in sexual reproduction. So in bryophytes, the male sex organ is called antheridium. This is a antheridium. So antheridium is always to be appeared dumbbell in shape, and they produced biflagellated anthrozoids. These are biflagellated anthrozoids. So one anthrozoids are here. This is anthrozoids and containing two flagella. That is biflagellated anthrozoids. Antheridium will be produced several biflagellated anthrozoids. Okay, now the male sex organ is called antheridium. Antheridium is always to be appeared dumbbell in shape, and the antheridium produce biflagellate anthrozoids. This is a one biflagellated anthrozoids. Next, coming to in bryophytes, the female sex organ is called archegonium. This is a archegonium. So archegonium is always flask-shaped structure. Archegonium is always to be appeared flask-shaped structure. This is a archegonium, female sex organ. Okay, now the female sex organ is called archegonium. This is a archegonium, and archegonium is always flask-shaped. This is a flask-shaped structure. This is a dumbbell-shaped structure, and produced a single egg. This is a egg. A single egg. Produced is always a single egg. Okay, now this is a archegonium. This archegonium first to be developed in bryophytes. In archegonium, not to be developed in algae and fungi. Only one specialized structure of archegonium. would be developed in bryophytes. So hence the namely archegoniate. So in archegonium is always to be appeared flask-shaped structure. Okay, now so this is a egg cell. Each archegonium to be containing only one egg cell. Okay, now this is a egg cell. So this is a neck. Okay, now this is a neck or neck cells. This is a capsules. Okay, now by means archegonium consists of three parts. One is egg pod, second one is neck pod, third one is capsules pod. Okay, now here. So the female sex organ is called archegonium. Is always to be appeared flask-shaped and produce a single egg. Next, coming to the anthrozoids are released into water. After maturity period, the antheridium to be produced several anthrozoids. So these anthrozoids to be released into water, and thereafter where they come in contact with the archegonium. Several anthrozoids are to be produced antheridium. These anthrozoids are released into water where they come in contact with the archegonium. Anthrozoids are come in contact with the archegonium. So in this time, so when anthrozoid fuses with the egg cell to be produced zygote. One anthrozoid and one egg cell fuses within the form of one zygote, that is diploid zygote, to be formed on diploid zygote. This phenomenon is called zooidogamous oogamy. Why? Because the biflagellated anthrozoids released into water, then after where they come in contact with the archegonium, so in this time fuses with the anthrozoid to the egg cell. So in this phenomenon are known as zooidogamous oogamy. Zooidogamous oogamy. Anthrozoid to be reach of the egg cell of archegonium. Egg cell of archegonium. Both are fusing them to be form of one diploid zygote. This phenomenon is named as zooidogamous oogamy. Zooidogamous oogamy. By means the diploid zygote will be developed the archegonium. The archegonium. So in this zygotes do not undergo reduction division. Do not undergo reduction division immediately. Generally, in most of the higher plants, the diploid zygote undergoes reduction division. But here in bryophytes, the zygotes divided. The zygotes not divided reduction division. So this zygote to be form of one multicellular body, that is called sporophyte. That is called sporophyte. That is called sporophyte. Okay, now zygotes do not undergo reduction division immediately. Zygotes do not undergo reduction division or meiotic divisions immediately. So they produced a multicellular body, that is called sporophyte. So zygote produces a multicellular body, that is called sporophyte. That means beginning of the asexual reproduction. Beginning of the asexual reproduction. This is the ending of the sexual reproduction. The ending of the sexual reproduction to be form of one diploid zygote. So this diploid zygote do not undergo reduction divisions immediately. So this diploid zygote to be make a one multicellular body. This diploid zygote to be produce a one multicellular body, that is called a sporophyte. In this sporophyte to be hence the act of asexual reproduction. So the coming of asexual reproduction. So sporophyte is not free living and attached to the photosynthetic gametophytes. Sporophyte is not free living. Sporophyte is not making of the food material. Okay, now so is always depend upon to the photosynthetic gametophyte. Is always depend upon to the photosynthetic gametophyte. By means is always depend upon to the plant body or thallus. Why? Because in bryophytes the thallus to be appeared gametophytic. In which purpose? So and derives nourishment from it. Derives nourishment from it. Sporophyte is always depend upon to the gametophyte. In this gametophyte to be provide a food material, to be provide a especially food material. Okay, now so in this food material to be supply is always a gametophyte. Gametophyte to sporophyte. That is the importance of gametophyte. Sporophyte is not free living. Is always depend upon to the photosynthetic gametophyte. Why? Because not preparing of the food material. So is always directly depend upon to the gametophyte. So gametophyte is always to be make a own their food materials as well as to be absorption of water and mineral nutrients from the soil. Why? Because containing rhizoids, stem like colloids, leaf like phylloids. So in this sporophyte to be developed at the apex of the leaves. Okay, now sporophyte is not free living and attached to the photosynthetic gametophytes and derives nourishment from it. And some cells of the sporophytes called spore mother cells. Sporophyte will be containing spore mother cells. In generally, the sexual reproduction of sporophyte will be containing several spore mother cells. These spore mother cells is always undergoing reduction division or meiosis to be produced several spores. These spores is always applied number of chromosomes. Then after these spores are to be germinated into the gametophytes or gametes. Some cells of the sporophyte is called spore mother cells. In this is spore mother cells undergoing reduction division or meiotic division to be produced several spores. These spores after some time to be germinate to be developed new gametes or gametophytic plant body. And all bryophytes are homosporous. Spore mother cells would be produced several spores. These spores all are similar in size. There is no differentiated size. All are similar in size. Not microspores, not macrospores. All are similar in size. Both are macrospores or both are microspores. Okay, now all bryophytes are homosporous. Homosporous means all spores are similar in size. In generally, spore mother cells to be produced several spores. These spores all are similar in size. That is named homosporous. Next one here, in bryophytes they show heteromorphic alternation of generations. Especially in bryophytes, they appeared gametophytic stage and sporophytic stage. First to be appeared sexual reproduction and second to be appeared asexual reproduction. Okay, now gametophytic and sporophytic bodies is always conscientious to be different. That is heteromorphic alternation of generations. Okay, now they show heteromorphic alternation of generations by means because of the gametophytic and sporophytic bodies is always conscientious different. And applied diplomatic life cycle. Generally, the plant body of bryophyte are applied. So to be produced applied gametes. That is a gametophyte. Gametophyte is one of the applied. Next coming to sporophyte, asexual reproduction. So sporophyte is one of the diploid condition. So in bryophytes, first to be appeared applied number of chromosomes, then after to be appeared diploid number of chromosomes, that is applied gametophyte and diploid sporophyte. That is haplodiploidic life cycle. This is about the characteristics in bryophytes. Includes habitats, thallus organization or plant body structure, and mainly in reproduction. Okay, now thank you. Discuss about the plant kingdom. Already previous classes we will discuss about the characteristics in algae, that is habitat in algae, thallus organization or plant body organization in algae, reproduction in algae, and classification in algae, that is chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae, that is divisions of algae and in their characteristics, and also discussed about the characteristics in bryophytes, including habitat, thallus organization or plant body organization, and reproduction and reproduction. So today we are going to discuss about the another topic, that is economic importance in bryophytes. Economic importance in bryophytes. Already previous classes we will detailedly discuss about the economic importance in algae. Economically, in this algae are very useful to man of in variety of ways, in different ways. Very useful to economically in their algae. And next, coming to bryophyta is also to be economically important to be human beings, but little of the economical importance of bryophytes in their human beings. Now, economic importance in bryophytes. First one, some mosses provided food for herbaceous mammals and birds and other animals. Some moss plants, that is Funaria, Polytrichum or Sphagnum, to be provided food from herbaceous mammals, birds and other animals. Other animals, birds and herbaceous mammals to be provided food in this some moss plants. Second one, species of Sphagnum. This is a one type of moss. Provide feet. So that has long been used as fuel. Okay, now species of Sphagnum. This is a one type of moss. Provide feet that has long been used as fuel because of its capacity to hold water. This is a one type of holding water substances, and as packing material for transshipment of living material. So species of Sphagnum provide feed that has long been used as fuel. Why? Because its capacity to hold water, as a packing material for transshipment of living material. So moss is also to be using of coolers. So is one type of feet. Coolers is also to be covering a mass of feet. One type of sphagnum. Next, coming to mosses along with lichens for the first organisms. First growing organism will be appeared in their soil. That is mosses. So in this mosses, in this bryophytes along with lichens for the first organisms to colonize rocks, bare rocks, and hence are of the ecological importance. Why? Because they decomposing rocks. So in moss plants is always decomposing of rocks, making the substratum suitable for the growth of higher plants. So in this lichens is always decomposing of the moss plants. So this moss plants are to be utilized growing of the in higher plants, hence playing significant role in plant succession. Plant succession means growth of plant stages. That is first to be developed herbaceous plants, next to be developed shrub plants, next to be developed small tree plants, next to be developed larger tree plants. Okay, mosses along with lichens for the first organisms. Mosses along with lichens to be formed first the organisms and function to colonize rocks and hence are of ecological importance. That is, they decomposing rocks is always decomposing of the rocks, making the substrates suitable for the growth of in higher plants. That is gymnosperms and angiosperms. So hence play in significant role in plant cessation. Plant cessation means growth of plant stages. Next, coming to another economical importance are here. Since masses from dense mats on the soil, to be form of dense mats on the soil, so they reduce the impact of falling rain. Is always impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. Is always to be protected of soil. Okay, now that is since mosses from dense mats on the soil, they reduce the impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. This is importance of bryophytes. So this is about the economic importance in bryophytes. Okay, now thank you.